An F-35 pilot climbs into the cockpit of a stealth fighter that costs tens of millions of dollars. The engine is not running yet. The wheels have not moved. But the most important thing in that scene is not the jet. It is on the pilot's head, a helmet. It costs around $400,000, about the price of a nice house in many parts of America. But in the F-35 world, something that expensive is not an accessory. It is not a cool helmet made for military photos. This helmet is the pilot's second set of eyes. And here is the strange part. The pilot cannot just put it on and fly. For one pilot, the fitting can take 2 full days, 48 hours. That is basically an entire weekend spent making sure one helmet sits on one head in exactly the right position. Even 1 millimeter matters. A fresh haircut can change the fit. A small change in body weight can shift the helmet. If the oxygen mask sits too close to the visor, it can interfere with the display. If the helmet's weight is not balanced correctly, it can become dangerous during ejection. Yes, it is complicated. Because the F-35 helmet is not just head protection. Inside it, there is a display, sensors, night vision, targeting, communication, tactical data, and real-time video from cameras around the aircraft. When the pilot looks down, he can see the world below the jet, almost like the floor has disappeared. And without this helmet, a big part of the F-35's advantage loses its edge. When people hear that one helmet costs $400,000, the first reaction is usually the same. That sounds way too expensive. But the price starts to make sense when you understand this is not a normal helmet. It is not a fancy motorcycle helmet. It is not an older pilot helmet that only protects the head, carries a radio, and holds night vision goggles. The F-35 helmet is like a small cockpit moved onto the pilot's face. In older fighter jets, information was spread across many places: cockpit screens, radar displays, a heads-up display, panels, and gauges. The pilot had to read all of that while moving extremely fast. In the air, time is brutal. A pilot may only have a few seconds to understand what is happening. Look at the wrong thing, react too late, and the chance is gone. So the F-35 changes the way that works. The information no longer waits on the dashboard. It follows the pilot's head. When the pilot looks forward, flight data appears. When he turns toward a threat, tactical data appears. When he looks down, camera footage from the aircraft can appear inside the visor. All of this happens inside a fighter cockpit at hundreds of knots, under G-forces that can make the body feel like several heavy sandbags are pressing down on it, and one wrong move can be fatal. The helmet has to be light, but packed with technology. It has to be strong, but precise at eye level. If the helmet has a problem, the pilot does not just lose comfort, he loses the fastest way to understand the world around him. But all that expensive technology has one very human weakness: the pilot's head. Fitting an F-35 helmet is almost like a small ritual before war. The pilot goes to a special facility, not a helmet store, not a normal equipment room. This place has technicians, measuring tools, scanners, computers, and optical equipment. Their job is simple but extremely hard: make the helmet feel like part of the pilot's body. 2 days, 48 hours for one helmet. Human heads do not come in small, medium, and large. Every skull is different, foreheads are different, jaws are different, the distance between the eyes is different, ear position is different, and this helmet has to place a digital display right in front of the pilot's eyes, not almost right, but extremely precise. The first day starts with head measurements. The pilot's head is scanned, the shape is mapped, and that data is used to make the inner liner. This liner is not random foam. It controls how the helmet sits on the head, like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is slightly off, everything above it is affected. Then comes the eyes. Technicians measure the distance between the pilot's pupils. It sounds simple, but for this helmet, that small number matters a lot. The display has to send images to both eyes and make the brain see one clean image. If the alignment is wrong, the pilot could see a blurry image, a double image, or a display that sits in the wrong place. Then there is the oxygen mask. At high altitude, the pilot needs steady oxygen. The mask has to seal tightly against the face, but it cannot interfere with the visor. If it sits too close, jaw movement while talking can touch the visor and disturb the display. So the fitting is not just about comfort. It is about whether the helmet, face, eyes, oxygen mask, sensors, and center of gravity can work as one system.
And the fitting does not end once the helmet is done. Hair grows, hair gets cut. Weight goes up, weight goes down. Small things that feel unimportant in normal life can become technical variables in the F-35. A haircut sounds harmless, but if the helmet liner depends on very specific pressure points, a small change can shift the helmet's position. Just a little. But a little on the head can mean a lot on the visor.
In older fighter jets, the cockpit had limits. If something was below the aircraft or behind it, the pilot had to rely on sensors, warnings, or information from another system. But the F-35 changes that limit. The jet has something called the Distributed Aperture System, or DAS. In simple terms, it is a network of infrared cameras placed around the aircraft. 6 cameras work together, like 6 digital eyes attached to the skin of the jet. 6 cameras, not for selfies, for reading the battlefield. Those cameras send images into the aircraft's systems, and the information can appear in the pilot's helmet. When the pilot looks down, he is not just seeing his knees, panels, or the cockpit floor. He can see imagery from below the aircraft: land, ocean, threat direction, heat movement, a world that should be hidden by the body of the jet. It almost makes the aircraft feel transparent. The F-35 is not only trying to hide from enemy radar, it is also trying to make sure the pilot is not blind to the space around him. In air combat, a blind spot is dangerous. The threat does not always come from the front. It can come from below, it can come from behind. With this helmet, the pilot does not have to twist around like someone searching for an empty parking spot at a crowded mall. He just turns his head and the data follows. But what appears in the helmet is not just raw video. The system can add direction, position, threat level, altitude, and data from other sensors. It is presented so the pilot does not have to combine too many puzzle pieces at once. This is the part people often miss. The more information that enters the cockpit, the higher the risk of overwhelming the pilot. Humans have limits, so the F-35 helmet has to show information in a way the brain can process quickly. If every piece of data is thrown onto the visor at once, the result is not a superpilot. It is a screen full of symbols that makes the brain tired. Good technology reduces the human workload in the most chaotic moments. That is the goal of this helmet. In movies, dogfights often look like acrobatic duels. 2 jets chase each other, turn, climb, dive, and the pilot tries to put the nose of the aircraft behind the enemy. But modern air combat is not always like that. Often, the winner is not the pilot with the fanciest maneuver. The winner is the one who gets information faster, locks onto the target faster, and makes the decision before the other side understands what is happening. The F-35 helmet was built for that world. The system can track where the pilot's head is pointing. When the pilot looks in a certain direction, the aircraft understands what area he is focused on. That information can connect to sensors, weapons, and tactical data. You see the target. The system reads the direction. Then the aircraft helps with the next step. This does not mean the pilot just glances at something and a missile fires automatically. Real life does not work that way. There are rules, confirmations, weapon systems, and human decisions. But being able to point toward a threat with a movement of the head makes the process much faster than older systems. Now, the pilot's head is not just a body part that moves. It is an input for the combat system. Small movements can matter. The helmet has to stay stable. The display has to be accurate. Eye calibration has to be correct. If the helmet shifts, data that should be precise can feel wrong. That is why the 2-day fitting matters. The foam liner, pupil distance, visor, oxygen mask, center of gravity, and head tracking sensors are links in the same chain. An F-35 pilot is not just operating a machine. He has to learn to trust a digital layer on top of reality. The F-35C has larger wings, stronger landing gear, and a design made for landing on a ship's deck, which is tiny compared to a normal runway. A carrier deck is not a wide, still airfield. It is a giant steel platform in the middle of the ocean, moving up and down, hit by wind, packed with crew, aircraft, and risk. Now put the F-35 helmet into that environment. Sea air carries salt, and salt is bad news for many components. The ship keeps moving. Space is limited. The schedule is packed. Every piece of gear has to survive a harsher world than a clean hangar on land. But one thing needs to be clear. The main helmet fitting usually does not happen on the carrier. The measuring, scanning, and full calibration are done at special facilities on land. After the helmet is ready, it follows the pilot to the base, squadron, or ship. The carrier is where the helmet is used, maintained, and tested under real pressure. On land, the helmet has to be precise. At sea, it has to survive. And for the pilot, all those details disappear when the wheels touch the deck. He only needs one thing. The helmet must work every second. The F-35 helmet did not become perfect right away. Early in the program, it was one of the most difficult parts. There were reports about display issues, latency, night vision problems, and concerns that the helmet's weight could strain the pilot's neck. That was not a small problem. If the helmet is the pilot's main display, then a problem in the helmet can become a problem for the whole F-35 concept. Think about the challenge. The helmet has to be light, but full of advanced electronics, strong but comfortable, precise but usable by people with different head shapes. It has to show sensor data, but it cannot confuse the pilot. It has to include night vision, but without a huge device hanging off the head. One requirement would already be hard. This helmet has to do all of them. That is why its development needed serious iteration. Collins Aerospace and Elbit Systems of America, through Collins Elbit Vision Systems, became key players behind the Gen 3 helmet-mounted display system. The Gen 3 version improved display quality, weight balance, sensor integration, and the pilot's visual experience.
Then, in 2024, Collins Elbit Vision Systems announced delivery of the 3,000th Gen 3 helmet for the F-35 program. 3,000 is not a small number. That is thousands of custom combat interfaces made for real pilots. Modern military technology is not a clean fairy tale. It is born from problems, tested by complaints, fixed by engineers, and forced to mature by real operations. When the pilot is in the air, he does not need to think about the technical debate behind the helmet. He needs one thing. The visor must be clear, the night vision must work, and when a threat appears, the helmet must help him react faster, not make him confused.
Before technology like this, fighter pilots had to read many things at the same time. They looked outside the cockpit, checked screens, read radar, listened to radio calls, and combined everything in their head. It was like building a puzzle, except the puzzle kept changing, and the aircraft was moving incredibly fast. The F-35 tries to change that. The aircraft sensors collect data. The computer chooses what matters. The helmet shows that information in front of the pilot's eyes. Then the pilot makes the decision. It sounds simple, but the effect is huge. People used to think a fighter jet's advantage was mostly about speed, missiles, radar, or stealth. All of that still matters, but the F-35 shows that one of the most important things is not only how advanced the aircraft is, it is how fast the pilot can understand the situation. That is where this helmet becomes important. The pilot is not only seeing the world through his own eyes, he is also seeing the world through the aircraft sensors. The helmet helps translate complicated data into information the pilot can use right away. But there is a risk. If the visor display is wrong, the pilot can read the situation wrong. If the sensor is disrupted, the pilot's decision can be disrupted too. If the helmet fitting is not right, advanced technology can turn into a distraction. So the F-35 helmet teaches something interesting. The future of air combat may look like futuristic screens, infrared cameras, and digital data. But underneath all of that, the basics are still very human. The pilot's head has to fit, the eyes have to line up, the neck has to be safe, the breathing has to be steady, and most importantly, the pilot still has to think clearly under pressure.
So when you see an F-35 flying across the sky, it is easy to focus on the stealth shape, the engine sound, or the weapons it carries. But behind that cockpit, there is something much more personal. One pilot, one head, one $400,000 helmet, and 2 days of fitting just to make sure everything sits exactly right. That helmet helps the pilot see through the aircraft sensors, read threats from directions he could not normally see, and react faster when the situation changes. But the power of this helmet is not only that the technology is advanced. Its real power is simple. It was built so a human being can survive and make decisions in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. If this video made you realize that one small thing on a pilot's head can affect the fate of a jet worth tens of millions of dollars, hit the like button. And if you want more military tech stories like this, subscribe.